to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everybody, you are listening to episode 153, How to Talk About Your Accomplishments. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Lorraine Rise. You can learn more about myself, my team of coaches and writers at careeruprising.com, and you can find this show on virtually every outlet. We're on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and I would absolutely love and appreciate a review from you. If you've been listening to the show, 1 episode, 100 episodes, whatever it is, I would absolutely appreciate it if you took just a moment to subscribe, for one, so you get new shows automatically, and then also leave a review potentially on Apple Podcasts if you can. So thank you so much. I am also, before we're going to get started, going to apologize in advance, you guys, if I cough or have a scratchy voice. I'm doing better, but there has just been sickness running through my house, which is very rare for us. All 3 of us have been sick at some point, and I'm just now finally over it, but I feel like I still have like this rough, scratchy voice. So we'll get through it. But I want to share with you guys really quick before we get into our topic, and I love our topic. We're going to talk about talking about ourselves, which sounds really funny. But this is something that is some people struggle with a lot. So I think it's going to be a good show. But I want to share one exciting and very quick housekeeping item, very exciting announcement. I am doing something, I say this a lot because it's true, but I am doing something that I have not done in several years. I am hosting a live webinar in just a couple of days from the time when the show airs. So this show's coming out on the 12th. So on February 16th, there's still time. I am hosting a live webinar. And you might remember that just a few weeks ago in January, I did an episode of this show, number 151, called From Rejection to Resilience, Landing a Job in Today's Market. And I decided to continue that topic and basically turn that podcast into an in-depth hour-long webinar. This is going to be a full hour of teaching and coaching and a Q&A. So this is not an hour-long sales pitch or anything like that because it is paid. It's a very low cost, but this is a paid webinar. So you will be receiving a ton of information and have an opportunity to ask questions, if you'd like, on your situation. I haven't done a webinar in, I think, 2 years, and they were always free. So this is different. This is more of a teaching and a training, and it's going to be interactive. It's going to be on Zoom. I'm so excited. It's February 16th at 11 a.m. for an hour. We are going to go into how to get hired because it's very hard to do that now. It's a tough market. A lot of people are getting laid off and just having long job searches. So I felt really inspired to continue this topic and go a little bit more in depth with it. So I want you to consider joining me. The cost is very low. It's only $35. That's it. And you're going to learn a lot. But I want you to have some skin in the game here because you're going to walk away with a ton of information, okay? And have an opportunity to coach with me if you wish to. So $35 is a fair price, I think, for an hour of time. So you can go to careeruprising.com/resilience because that's what we are doing. We're building some job search resilience. So go to careeruprising.com/resilience. Yes, I'm going to make you spell resilience. You can do it. And this is a rare event. I don't know when I will do another webinar. So if this is a great success, I will do more, I think. But I already just announced it the other day and I had at least three people sign up almost immediately. I was so excited. So I think this is going to be awesome. I hope to see you February 16th. And if you can't find the information for some reason, email me at Lorraine@careeruprising.com. I'll send you the link, okay? All right, let's get into the show. I love this, all right? So much of the work that I do here is helping people to talk about themselves. If I could emphasize or impart upon you how many people tell me that I don't know how to sell myself. I'm not comfortable talking about myself. I don't know how to tell my story. Have you ever said any of those things? Because I hear them almost every day, and I'm not exaggerating. So this is something that if you struggle with it, you are not alone. It's okay. Many people, maybe even most, feel uncomfortable talking about themselves in job interviews or maybe even a performance review or speaking up in a staff meeting. There's a lot of situations where we have to talk about our careers and our skills and our value. Is this you? Is this something you struggle with? If so, you are not alone, my friend, okay? You are in really good company. So this is something that we all need to work on. We have to, in order to succeed in our careers. We have to be able to talk about ourselves. We're going to have to get over our crap. We really just are. Because as they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If people don't know how amazing you are, they're not going to hire you. So this is an awesome opportunity for you and for all of us to just dig deep and really shine and own our value and own our skills. And we're going to kind of dissect this a little bit more, but I just want you to understand how important effectively communicating your skills and accomplishments is going to be in order for you to get promoted, get hired, whatever, start a business, whatever it is you want to do. Especially now starting a business, I talk about myself all the time. I mean, that's what this show is, honestly, is me giving you my knowledge, my skills, my value, right? So I have to do this as well. And I had to get over myself in order to be able to do that. All right. So what are we going to do about this? This little conundrum, right? We have this thing that we have to be able to do and do well if we want to succeed and advance and reach our goals, but it's challenging and uncomfortable to do it. So where do we begin? Okay. I am going to lay out 4 strategies here, I think. Oh, I got another page. Yeah. I got another page of my script I lost over there. Yeah, I think we've got 4 things here. And so let's dig in here to number 1. All right. So these are my 4 strategies for you of how to overcome this discomfort that you have with talking about yourself and your career. All right. Number 1, and if you guys have been listening to my show, you know me, I always start with this. It's mindset. So important because honestly, at the end of the day, all this really is a mindset shift. Okay. I'm going to give you some other tips and strategies, but the foundation of your discomfort with talking about yourself is a belief or a mindset that you are holding that is holding you back. So I want you to ask yourself, why is this uncomfortable for you? You need to explore that first. Were you taught that you shouldn't talk about yourself? Did somebody in your past tell you that in some way or imply it? Have you adopted some kind of mindset that says, oh, it's bragging or it's poor form, people won't like you, or it's off-putting, whatever, to talk about yourself in a positive way? Get rid of that. Enough. That mindset is holding you back and it's garbage. It's not true. You've been lied to. I feel really strong about this. As I said, I mean, should I not do this show? Should I not promote my business and my services? I believe in it. I love it. I think it's amazing. That's why I created it. It's the same thing for you, even just in your career. You don't have to be a business owner. It's the same thing. Should you not love yourself? Should you not be proud? Should you not say, yeah, I'm good at that. I can help you with that? Of course you should. If you really stop and break that down, you realize what nonsense it is, okay? Ditch the mindset that says it is not okay to talk about your skills, your accomplishments, and feel proud. It's utterly ridiculous, all right? And oftentimes when we are hesitant to do something, it's because there is a fear lying beneath the surface. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid is going to happen? Or what are you afraid you're going to feel? If you can fix that, the fear will go away. And this is going to get a whole lot easier, okay? Spend some time, a meaningful amount of time asking yourself and being honest. Why are you uncomfortable talking about yourself? What are you afraid is going to happen? What are you afraid people are going to think about you? Is that what it is? Because it's almost never true. And then ask yourself whether or not that belief is serving you, because chances are it is actually holding you back. You know, it's funny because a lot of times people see other people get promoted that are less skilled, less talented, and that happens every day. And there's a number of reasons why that could be happening, right? It could be office politics. It could be, just relationships and networking, things like that. But it also could be that that person knows how to speak up and advocate for themselves. Maybe they're full of shit and they're exaggerating themselves. Maybe it could be, but maybe not. Oftentimes, the person who is more visible, more confident, and not necessarily extroverted, but just self-assured and willing to go to bat for themselves, or at least be seen and be heard, that person is probably going to get the promotion and get noticed, okay? Because people can't offer you something that they necessarily don't know you want or don't know that you're qualified for. You have a certain amount of responsibility here for how you are perceived. Some of it, okay? So I want you to do your part with this and fix the mindset that says that you shouldn't be doing this. Number 2, be authentic. When you talk about your accomplishments, you don't need to do it with the intention of exaggerating your contributions or being somebody that you're not. That's not what this is about. And maybe that's where some people go wrong. They have this preconceived notion that that is what's happening. You are simply sharing stories and facts from your career. That's it. Everything you're sharing should be true. That's the assumption, okay? So remind yourself that your intention is not to brag or exaggerate, but simply be of service and simply share stories or examples from times when you have been successful with something. Because when you go into a job interview, they want to know that you can solve their problems. That is why they have a job opening. They have a problem that needs to be solved, and they are assuming you can solve it. That's why they called you in for the interview. They want to hear those stories. That is literally the point of the interview, okay? Not to be perfect, not to act like you don't ever have a weakness or anything that's ever gone wrong. It's quite the opposite. When you go into an interview, you just need to be authentic. You need to have just a certain level of confidence and authenticity and right intention. And then they will be able to see you. They will see that you're not bragging or exaggerating. Intention is everything. All right, here's an example for me. When I do discovery calls with prospective clients, and I do these virtually every single day, many of them, people often ask me for success stories or success rate with clients, okay? If I don't have an answer for that, if I don't have any successes to share or any confidence in the quality or success of my program, do you think people are going to sign up for me, for my program? Of course not. I wouldn't blame them for not. They want to see the evidence of success. They expect to see it. So it's okay to show it. All right. I have to do this every single day. So every time I do one of these discovery calls, I am interviewing for a job. So like 15 times a week, I go on job interviews literally every day. So I practice what I preach. I'm just on little mini, like 15-minute job interviews 4 or 5 times a day, something like that. And I have to be able to show success. So if I can do it, you can do it. So I also, just to give you some further support with this, I write about this topic in my book. If you are maybe new to my circle and my atmosphere, and I actually wrote a book called What You Didn't Learn in School. It's out now. It just came out in December, so about 2 months ago. I talk about this, which is why I want to share this. So chapter 2 in particular, which is called Why You're Afraid of Success, and chapter 4, Why We Undervalue Ourselves. If you haven't grabbed a copy, I would strongly recommend it. And of course, I wrote it, right? But I mean, truly, if you are struggling with this topic and you want more help and further reading, those chapters are a great companion. That's exactly what they address, okay? So you can go to careeruprising.com/book, careeruprising.com/book, and get a copy of What You Didn't Learn in School, all right? I really honestly think that it will help you to kind of supplement with this topic. So let's take a quick commercial break in just about 2 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to blast through a couple more strategies. I have more to say on this topic. All right. So we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Hey there, listeners. Thanks for tuning in to Career Uprising. I have some exciting news for you. This show has been going steady since 2018, and I have amassed well over 100 episodes so far. So I decided to do something big and bold. I put the best of all of my teachings together in a book. That's right. I have a brand new book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the major outlets. It's called What You Didn't Learn in School: Lessons on Growth, Change, and Living Your Best Life. This book contains 30 powerful lessons from my podcast and my work as a career coach to help you live your best life. Learn how to increase your confidence, get rid of imposter syndrome forever, finally get clarity on your career path, and so much more. This book covers everything from careers to finances to health to relationships and more. Head over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or your favorite book retailer and pre-order your copy of What You Didn't Learn in School. Then go to my website, careeruprising.com, to learn more about how Career Uprising can help you transform your career and your life. Let's get back to the show. All right, we are back, you guys, and here I am. I told you I was going to have to clear my throat. I'm good for a few minutes and then the rough scratchiness comes back. So I apologize, guys. But as they say, the show must go on. And the show is going on today. All right. So my third strategy is this is a very specific thing. There is a specific strategy that can help you to share examples from your work history when you are in an interview. You might be familiar with this. There's a lot of different variations out there. So some people call it STAR, situation, task, action, result. I know that's fairly well known. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think it's a little overcomplicated. I like, excuse me, a simplified version of this, challenge, action, result, CAR. That is what I teach my clients. So this is very useful for when you are answering behavioral interview questions, okay? And you want to kind of basically tell a quick story. It's a nice plug and play little format, okay? So what you do is if you are asked, tell me about a time when, or give me an example of a time when you did this. What I want you to do is share the challenge, which is what is the situation and the problem that needed to be solved. What is the action that you took to resolve it? And what was the final outcome? And be specific in the outcome. That's important, okay? Did you save the company money? Did you save a customer that was threatening to cancel? Did you create a new process that made their operations more specific or more efficient? That's the kind of thing that they are looking for, all right? So I'm going to put it all together, the challenge, action, result. And here's an example of what it could potentially sound like to help you kind of tell a quick story about yourself. So this is just a fictitious example. And the question is, can you describe a time when you solved a problem at work? So your answer could sound something like this. When I joined my previous company, there were some products that had been on the market for months and that were not selling. After analyzing the company's client demographic and getting some feedback on the products, I decided to change our marketing strategy and our advertisement methods. We were conducting a lot of traditional marketing practices, posting flyers, signs, but I implemented some digital marketing tools along with forging some new partnerships with local businesses to attract more prospects. As a result, I was able to sell those units that had not been selling on the market for over 180 days, and I sold them within 30 days. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Did you hear each part? I stated what was the problem. We had products that weren't selling. What is the action I took? I changed the marketing strategy and I forged some new partnerships. And what is the result? I sold products within 30 days that had not been sold for 180. That's a very specific result. So put your own situation in there, but that's a short, easy format to remember to help you frame your answer and craft simple, compelling stories from your career. So just remember, challenge, action, result. If you coach with us, we teach you this and we practice it a lot so that you can get good at it. And then my last tip is, one thing that I hear from clients as kind of a hesitancy in talking about themselves is they don't know how to talk about things that were a group effort, right? So they're part of a team and they don't feel comfortable taking credit for an outcome if it was not just them. They were part of a team. This is an easy fix, okay? You just, again, want to be honest and authentic and focus on your contribution. So I want you to also use the word we sometimes instead of I, if it's appropriate to do so. But you can also just focus on what your contribution to it was, because that's really what they're most interested in. They want to know what role did you play? And then, of course, what was the outcome? So for example, a simple way you could start that sentence would be to say, I was part of a 6-person team and my role was to blank. So fill in the blank. They will understand that. You're acknowledging that you are a part of a team, but then focusing on your individual contribution. And yes, you can definitely share, as a result, our team was able to do whatever and then insert the result. So it doesn't really change the format. It doesn't change anything. You're just going to share that you were part of a team and this is what you did. So that doesn't need to be a hang up for you at all. You're not taking credit for the whole thing, but you are going to take credit for what you did. All right. So get out of your own way. Stop telling yourself that you are bragging or doing anything wrong by sharing your successes. And I really would encourage you to read those chapters 2 and 4 in What You Didn't Learn in School. And maybe there's some more. There's even a chapter in there about imposter syndrome. That sometimes that's the root of this, right? The imposter syndrome is what keeps us from wanting to talk about our accomplishments or feeling comfortable. So there's a lot of things I talk about in the book that I think can address this because this is such a common challenge to have. Okay? I hope that was enough to help you and steer you in the right direction. I love and appreciate all of you. I hope I will see you on my webinar on the 16th. There are still a few days to sign up. Go to careeruprising.com/resilience to learn more and claim your spot. And I will be back in 2 weeks with a new show. Thanks, guys. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show is brought to you by inflowradio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.